Yo ho! That's my pirate greeting.
That's an ecstatic pirate.
You like
just
that?
found some treasure.
Yeah, that's right. Welcome to the guide. It's an all pirates guide, mostly an all pirates guide. Well, no, technically it is an all pirates guide because we're going to talk about the whole PSN thing, but that was done by pirates.
Piracy.
Digital
piracy.
Yeah, so we have a review of Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides coming up. We'll tell you all about that. Also, a review of Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. It's just pirates everywhere. But first, we want to talk about the resolution, more or less, to the PlayStation Network, which I'm glad they finally got it back up and running.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
And I've been talking to a few of my friends, and I know there are definitely some frustrated customers out there.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the things Sony wants to do to make up for it?
The whole welcome back program that Sony is doing, I'm not sure how that's going to appease people, because basically they're offering a choice of about 5 or 6 games, but you can download 2 of them for free. So you get 2 downloaded games for free to compensate you for all that time when the PlayStation Network was down. Does that seem worthwhile?
No,
I'm not thinking so. And from what I've heard, talking to other people, they're not thinking either. That's worth it either. You also have to change your login and your password because you want to protect yourself. Although there was an exploit, apparently, when people were doing that, and there were some concerns about more intrusions into the network because of that exploit. However, Sony has come out and said it wasn't as big of a deal, wasn't going to renew hacking into the network, but there was an exploit. They fixed it, so you don't have to worry about that, but you do have to reset your password. Moving on to Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. The question is, are pirates more fun in Lego form?
I think they're more colorful.
They are definitely more colorful, that is for sure. I actually enjoyed Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. And actually, my wife made a statement that I thought was very telling. She was watching me play, and she said, of all the Lego games you've played, and I've played all of them, she said, that's the one I'd most want to play with you, because it just looked like the most fun.
Yeah, I can get that because I didn't play the full game. I played through the demo though,
right.
And it was entertaining. And there seemed to be just level designs and things that were more appealing about this Lego Pirates than like prior Star Wars Legos. Things like that.
They have some great level designs, and they do an amazing job with the animation of the characters. How you get the Captain Jack swagger in Lego form, I don't know, but somehow they did. The way Captain Jack walks is hilarious.
Without joints or anything, they still make it.
I'm Captain Jack. I don't know how they were able to pull that off, but somehow they did. It's pretty impressive. The animations for the combat is pretty cool. The sword fights are actually pretty neat to watch in Lego form, so it's got some great animations. However, all the same old problems from Lego games are here with platforming, awkward camera controls, really obscure puzzles, especially in Lego Pirates, because you can have up to 6 characters following you, which gets crowded and confusing.
Because you have to remember, what's each character's specific talent tool.
Right. And then when you come across an obscure puzzle, it might take you forever, and then you're like, I bet you I have some character who has a special talent that can do this. So some of the puzzle design, especially in this one, is a little frustrating. But overall, it's charming. It's really, you don't buy Lego games anymore because you want to play a Lego game. You buy it because you're a Harry Potter fan. You buy it because you're a Star Wars fan. You buy the franchise that you're most interested in. So if you're a fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, you will love Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a lot of fun. It has all the charm of the movies and the charm of Legos. And the cutscenes are really funny.
Yeah, it's really entertaining, and it's a great multiplayer game, too.
And the plot's just as hard to follow, especially since Legos don't say anything. It's actually harder to follow, but still, the cutscenes are entertaining. So, all the same problems of past Lego games, but all the charm of the Pirates movies and the charm of Lego games, which are pretty charming and funny. So, I would give it a 4 out of 7.
Yeah.
So, moving on to Pirates 4. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides.
Or how did you so delicately put that earlier on?
On more familiar tides is really how it felt. There wasn't really... And here's the thing. If it had truly been a Stranger movie, if there had been something that really set it distinctly apart from the other ones, I think it would have been better, but it felt way too familiar to the other films.
In my opinion, the third one was definitely Stranger Tides than this most recent one.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the third one. And, you and I were talking, as we got done with the movie, we felt like there's just something missing from this one?
Yeah, there's your typical pirates sailing scenes, your typical sword fights here and there, but there's no pizzazz. I would like to say
there's no flair. There's not that swashbuckling devil-may-care flair that helps take it to the next level a lot, especially the action sequences. They just kind of seemed there.
Yeah, they were kind of lacking, in my opinion.
They were.
With the exception of one scene in the middle, one action scene.
With the mermaids, when mermaids attack.
Killer mermaids.
It was pretty intense. I thought the opening action sequence was kind of cool. It had some interesting elements. But yeah, overall, they just felt really lacking. And
it just wasn't as creative as it could have been.
And then there were some pointless subplots, like why even put that in there? Just cut it out and cut 15 minutes out of the movie. You don't even need that. Blackbeard was an interesting villain, but he wasn't like Davy Jones, where he had, I don't know, he just didn't have enough bite. I mean, he was kind of cool, but you kept waiting for him to do something.
Right, you hear,
and he never did.
You hear Blackbeard's name and you want to be intimidated. You want to think, oh man, what's he gonna do? But he really doesn't do a whole lot.
And Ian McShane does a great job as Blackbeard, but I just don't think he's given enough to do to really make the character stand out.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, but the whole search for eternal life I thought was very interesting as they search for the fountain of youth.
Except for the reason of the Spanish.
Right. Yeah, you know, the Spanish made a very interesting statement. They get there and they decry the whole thing and say, only God can grant eternal life, which I thought was a very interesting statement to make.
But it's cool that they said that.
Right.
But that's probably the shortest lived searching statement in the movie too.
Yeah, it really is, and the movie kind of undermines that anyway after some stuff. But the fact that they made that statement, I thought was very interesting. You know, because people are searching for eternal life.
Yeah.
Think of all the diets we go on, all the creams that we put on our face to help us stay young. You know, the fact that people are willing to pay for cryogenics so they can be frozen animated until they find a cure for everything. You know, we want to live forever, basically. Everyone's searching for that. And here's what I thought was interesting. If you were to say, there is one way to have eternal life, through the fountain of youth, people would sign up as a pirate and go and try and find that fountain of youth for the rest of their days. But when we say, there is one way to find eternal life, and that's through Jesus Christ, people get offended. It's like, well, I find that very exclusionary. How could you? That's proselytizing, and that's very narrow-minded. And they get all upset about it.
You can't force me into those ideals just for eternal life.
Right. You know, I find it so interesting that we get so flustered by that. I'm thinking, there is a way to eternal life. You can live forever.
It's funny because it's kind of written off just like that in the movie too.
Right.
After the Spanish say that thing too.
Everyone's like, oh no, that's
back to fighting.
Yeah, you know, but there is eternal life through Jesus Christ. That's the whole reason he came. The fact that there is a way, I think, is very exciting.
Yeah, at least we have a way.
You don't even have to search for it. God will just give it to you through Jesus Christ. And yet people get upset about that. But I think this movie illustrates that we want it. People want eternal life. We have the answer. This gives us an opportunity to talk about that with people. So I'm excited that it at least gives us that opportunity to discuss eternal things with people. So what would you give Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides?
Honestly, I'm going to have to settle with a 4 out of 7.
You know, we discussed this in the theater where we were like, I really want to give it maybe like a 5 because it's pirates. Yeah. And I know I was supposed to have more fun.
Exactly.
I'm supposed to like Captain Jack more than this. You feel compelled, but I have to agree with you. 4 out of 7. There was just something lacking.
It just doesn't live up to the earlier pirate movies.
It certainly doesn't compare to the first. It was still fun. There were some funny moments. But yeah, there's just that one thing that was lacking.
Yeah, I mean, I was entertained, but I was still missing out. I felt like I was missing out.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So there you go. Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides opening this week, and you know, maybe you should just wait. I think it's time for Captain Jack to set sail into the sunset.
Yeah, I think they just need to quit trying to make more.
It's a theme park ride. They made 4 movies. That's pretty good. Just end it.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all. That's going to wrap things up for this edition of The Guide. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on Stranger Waters. Stranger what? Stranger something.
Stranger Asphalt.
Stranger... so long.